All right, hey, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, welcome to another time with DrE on Next Up.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I am excited to be back with you again this month. I hope you've had a great week. We've got an exciting show for you. We're going to be talking today about our number one wealth, and that is our health. Our number one wealth, and that is our health. And we're going right after what I call public enemy number one when it comes down to health, and that is dealing with the sugar addiction. We're going to be talking about breaking the sugar addiction. Now, before we get deep into the waters, make sure that you do like, share, and subscribe this Next Up podcast. All right, let's get into it. Wow. Your number one wealth is your health. Your insurance policy is no indicator that you're going to have dynamic health. Do you need it? Yes. You want to make sure you got an insurance policy where you got medical insurance and so forth. But the key to your health goes back to what Solomon said. Now, I've got to give you this foundation before we can get into talking about the sugar addiction. The key to our health is knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. We need knowledge. The Bible says that we are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So we need knowledge, and then I need understanding of that knowledge and proper application of which wisdom is concerning that knowledge for your number one health. Millionaires and billionaires, they don't drive around with cars, dollar bills hanging off their vehicles, their cars and their trucks. No, their wealth is protected, and is protected by information, all right? Understanding and proper utilization of that information. I said all that to say, so it is when it comes down to our health. You protect your health primarily by the information that you have. 3 John verse 2. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, but it only happens to the degree that the soul prospers. So the soul must prosper in this case concerning sugar. Now, you talk about a sugar addict. I believe that I was probably one of the top 5 in the country when it came down to sugar. And I can report today that sugar no longer controls and dominates my life like it used to. Years ago, when I was at home, I used to have stacks and stacks of these 32-ounce bowls, actually, of orange sherbet ice cream. I used to love orange sherbet ice cream. Oh my God, I would eat literally 32 ounces in one night. I'm thinking back now, how and why did you do that to yourself? Of course, my skin condition was different. My health was different. I was having intestinal issues and problems. And when I got the victory over sugar, a lot of those issues ceased. My energy level to this day in my 60s is up higher than what it was when I was in my 30s. I'm doing stuff now at my older age, having better health than I didn't do. Some stuff I didn't even do when I played football back in high school, in grade school too, but so it makes a difference what you put in your body. Don't be deceived. God is not mocked. You know how the scripture says that? Whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. Now, it tastes good to the taste buds. It makes you feel good while that stuff is going in. But again, your body is like a garden. Whatever you sow in it is what it's going to produce for you. So again, the sugar, soft drinks loaded with all the sugars, because it's in some of everything. It feels good going down. You feel good for a while. But oh my God, when that harvest starts coming up, you're de-energized, you're sleepy, Your skin is different, particularly over a period of time. Now, I'm not saying it's going to change your skin complexion, all of that in a week or a day, something like that. But we are creatures of habit. Over a period of time, things will begin to change because, again, here's something we must take to heart. Our bodies are like a garden. Whatever you sow in it is what it's going to produce. If you sow life, it's going to give you life back. All right. If you sow dead foods, you're not going to get the energy, the vitality, and the kind of life that you could have. Now, let me go back to something that I said a few moments ago, because again, it's in everything. It's in pizzas, baby food, canned foods. It's all over the place, this sugar. And one of the first ways to get ahead of the ball game, if you would, is to be aware of what is in. I like to say it like this. Whatever you're purchasing, if it has a label, if it's in a can, a box, a package, or what have you, if it has a label, read the label. Get an idea of the amount of sugar that you are bringing into your body. Know that. You see, it's not like we're eating, this big chunk of sugar all at once. It's what we do on a regular basis in the smaller amounts from a variety of items. That's where the problem is being created at. What you keep doing in small amounts on a regular basis. So a word of wisdom again is, if it comes in a box, a package, a can, or simply, if it has a label, read the label. Know how much sugar you're bringing in. And for that, for the most part too, consider the other items, how much salt you might be bringing in to your body. Now that leads me to another thought, major thought that you can help gauge your health by or direct yourself. And that is, our bodies are like a chemical factory. Whatever you're putting in is a chemical. The liquids that you drink, now we say this in the nutritional world, a soda is like diabetes in a can. Oh, I know some of you are like, what? It's like diabetes in a can when you consider the teaspoons of sugar that are in one 10-ounce soda. So you've got to be aware of the sugar content that's in these items. And then again, don't be deceived with those items that say sugar-free. That's another whole ball game of discussion right there. But let's go back. Your body is like a chemical factory. Everything you put in is a chemical. If the chemical makeup of what you put in or what you put on a regular, consistent basis, if it doesn't match the chemical makeup of your body, sooner or later, you're going to end up with some problems, some issues. Nowadays, it appears as sooner than the later, because we're ingesting, as I said earlier, so many items that's loaded with sugar. All right? So word of wisdom right there. Now, let's look at some of what makes sugar addicting. Because again, man, I was addicted. I had to have it. And we as parents tend to pass our ways on, or we do pass our ways on to our children. And one of our children, Dion, our son Dion, said, "Dad, please give me some ice cream," when I was not going to let him have any ice cream that particular night. "Please give me some ice cream," he said. "It seems like I'm going to die if I don't get it." Well, man, I didn't feel too good when I heard that, because I knew I had contributed to his addiction. Why? Because I was an addict. Monkey see, monkey do. He had picked up what I had been doing for a number of years with all the orange sherbet ice cream and the popsicles and oh my God, the ice cream sandwiches. Woo! Man, I was going the wrong direction. Thank God for his mercy and his grace to help me change that. And with God's help now understand, an addiction is no light thing, but with the help of God, through his knowledge, his wisdom, and understanding about what he created the body. He knows what it needs best. All right. You can break those addictions. All right. And of course, God uses human beings as well to help us out. But if you really want to know, you really want to break it, the help is available from our Creator and people that he's put in our world with expertise, with knowledge, and all that good stuff. So what makes sugar addicting? Let's look at some points. First, I've got that it stimulates the reward system through increasing dopamine in our bodies. It increases the award system. Like, wow, man, look at that. I felt so high. I was on a high when I was ingesting all that sugar from the sodas and the ice creams and the ice cream sandwiches and all these different ways, and even canned foods and various items. So, man, I was on a high on a regular basis. Didn't realize at that time what it was doing to me. Here's another thing that makes it so addicting. Excessive amounts of it lowers the dopamine, so that you eat more to get more sense of reward, right? Again, because it decreases the excessive amounts of the sugar, lowers the dopamine, that feel-good chemical, so that you eat more to get more of that level of reward. You're chasing a high. It's like these people on drugs. It's addicting. This is why you got to be careful how you attack the drug addict, because some of you are like I was. You are a sugar addict. I'm having to tell it to you like it is, because I understand the world that you live in. I live in that same world. And in particular, if you're here in the States and other places too now, because I've traveled abroad and I've checked out things there, did seminars there in those different countries to see how the sugar has invaded the culture, if you would. So you got to break that habit, though, because if anything works like termites in the house of your body, sugar does. Yeah, you want to get control over that. Now, do I need sugar in my diet? Yeah, the Creator put it. It's in a variety of things. You know, it's in some of your fruits, definitely in your fruit, and even in vegetables at certain levels. So it's not that you can't have sugar and you shouldn't ingest sugar. It's this refined stuff. It's when you start separating other necessary minerals or what have you from that item that really makes it dangerous, particularly the refined sugar. So the third point on what makes sugar addicting is that manufacturers use sugar to drive behavior. Wow, that's serious. Manufacturers use sugar to drive behavior. So if I want you out there stimulated, if I want you like, oh, gotta have it, you know, driving you toward a particular item, just drop a little bit of sugar here and there in that particular item, because you can control a person's behavior with that sugar. And therefore, the sugar result of ingesting all of this leads to an addiction. Now you're really trapped. Now you're really in Egypt and you need deliverance. Oh my God, I needed it. So I know where you're at if you're battling with that. I was in sugar Egypt under Pharaoh. All right. I could not go past a donut shop and smell, oh my God, the smell of the donut with the sugar and the trans fats in it. I couldn't go by. I had without stopping. Now I could go by. I mean, well, I didn't do it on every occasion, of course, but you get where I'm coming from. When I got the smell of those donuts, I'm like, oh my God, it was like a big donut, a Pharaoh donut controlling my mind, my emotion, because this stuff, it affects every aspect of yourself. And I had to have it because I was addicted to it. Didn't realize how much I was ingesting, didn't realize the effects that it had on my behavior, didn't realize the effects that it was having on my body. My skin did not look then like it looks now because I was ingesting so much of it. I'm telling you, I had trophies, I had stacks. I can remember right now, 3 stacks under the cabinet, and I looked at them as trophies. Look at this, how much I'm eating in one night. Thank God for deliverance. And I'm free. I'm free of the sugar addiction now. Now, let's look at some ways that it ruins, and I'll give you in a few moments some ways to break it. Let's look at some of the ways that it ruins our health. All right. Excessive amounts of sugar are associated with chronic metabolic problems. Let me say that again. Excessive amounts now of sugar are associated with chronic metabolic problems, such as, and we've all heard this, type 2 diabetes, obesity, heart disease, blood pressure. Now, that really got me. All of these things really got me, that helped fuel my determination to break free of it. Type 2 diabetes, obesity, heart disease, blood pressure issues, of course, that can lead to heart disease as well. When I saw this, oh my God, I'm like, whoa. Now, this is part of me coming out of Egypt. This is part of the motivation to say to Calvin Ellison, I want out. I want to get out of here. I'm tired of being controlled by this white substance to where late at night I had to have it. I had to have my fix, like some of you. And I'm sharing this information to help you break free, to help break the chains of addiction off of it. Stop, as the Supremes used to say years ago, they used to say, in the name of love. You remember that song? Those of us that are older, stop in the name of love. And I paraphrased it to say, before you destroy your heart, think it over. Oh yeah, we got to stop. We got to consider. See, now you know next up is all about, come on, it's all about empowerment, edutainment, and education, so we can be more creative, more productive, and more impactful. Now, how am I going to be more creative, productive, and impactful if I'm under the control of something that's supposed to be under my feet? How am I going to do that? All right. But as the Supreme said in that song, you got to stop and think things over. Think about what you're putting in. Think about what you're putting on. Consider the end result of excessive sugars, as I just mentioned a few moments ago. Type 2 diabetes, obesity, heart disease, high blood pressure, skin problems, you name it. Can even lead to eye problems, neurological problems, brain problems. This stuff can lead also to dementia and Alzheimer's disease that has been now classified as type 3 diabetes. So you got to hear stuff like this and consider the end results. The stats are out there, all right, of what happens when we ingest excessive amounts of sugar. Check your blood pressure out. I challenge you to do that. Back up off of sugar, or excessive amounts in particular. Add some more vitamin C in your diet in a given day. Check your blood pressure the next day or next 2-3 days. You'll see a difference. I've seen a difference in backing up off of or making sure that my sugar intake outside of the fruit, of course, in particular, I do have certain fruit, several fruit daily. But then if there's anything that could have the potential or that has the potential of getting me in trouble, you all hear this now, it is a banana nut muffin. But at least I'm eating the one that's got the organic ingredients. And I've already checked it out now. That's not fixed with refined sugar. But even then, I can't go out there on this binge like I used to do with the donuts and have 3 or 4 banana nut muffins. That's not good for my system in one day. So guess what? I'm in control. I usually eat no more than 1.5, but usually 1 banana nut muffin. But I'll also have me some, now this is a good piece of advice. This can help with the sugar control. I'll also have, like I did last night, I had some Greek yogurt with it. Woo! Oh my God. So I've got my banana nut muffin, and then I've got some stuff that's loaded with calcium. All right, what am I doing? I'm working to balance the sugar operation in the body. And plus I had some fats and some proteins, all right? And so I wasn't out there in this party with 3 or 4 banana nut muffins as a meal. I used to eat sugars as though it was a meal, all right? So I got some control of it. Blood pressure, drastically different because I check my blood pressure at least 6 times a week, sometimes 7, all right? And blood pressure, drastically different versus the times when I might go overboard just a little bit, but brother man keeps his eyes on these results. And when I look at my blood pressure, like I did this morning, and I'm seeing the low number like I saw it, I'm like, yes, yes, sugar will not control me. I'll not be dominated by this substance. Oh, my time slipped away, so I got to get to giving you some ways to control it or to break the addiction. But let me give you this too. Another way that it ruins your health. Your nutrients are imbalanced when that happens. When you're taking in excessive amounts of sugar, it imbalances the body. Again, the body is like a chemical factory. So you get to throwing things off balance. Balance is the key to life. You got to do things in balance. And even when it comes down to ingesting different foods and stuff that we all like, do it in moderation, particularly if it goes far left, so to speak, all right, or in the wrong direction. Make sure that you eat in balance. Make sure that your plate is not loaded or imbalanced in this direction with excessive sugars there. And you don't have, make sure your plate is colorful. Make sure you got a balance of your proteins, your fats, your carbohydrates, and so forth. Make sure there's balance, all right? Even when it comes down to meats, the average American eats, oh my God, we'll talk about that in one of our sessions, eats way out yonder more meats than they did in biblical days, and then also what people did back in the 150 years ago, all right? So we got to make sure that we do things in balance. But it throws off the nutrient balance in the body, upsets the mineral relationship, causes chromium deficiency. Now, it's hard to regulate your blood sugar without chromium and vanadium being in the diet. So it throws these nutrients off balance. It interferes, sugars, excessive sugars, interferes with the absorption of calcium and magnesium that are critical. Calcium is the most plenteous mineral in the body. And when you're eating excessive amounts of sugar, and we're talking about calcium, then the body, in order to do the best that it can to keep you out of acidity, because excessive amounts of sugar are going to lead to acidity, that's going to lead to inflammation, that's going to lead to the development of a problem in the body. All right, the chemical balance is thrown off first and foremost, and when things are out of balance, then now you're going to go in a direction of the mineral content being thrown off. You're going to head toward acidity, inflammation, and just the development. In most cases, diabetes is something that was developed over a period of time. Obesity, you weren't born with obesity. You can't say that a child was born, well, we got some babies bigger than others, but the average child is not born obese, is not born with heart disease, is not born with blood pressure issues. So where are the problems coming from? Well, it's coming from the habits, the lifestyle, what we've been eating for X amount of time. This is where it's coming from. And oh my God, somebody's playing with my clock. Let me give you some cues, some information on how to break the addiction. There's no way I can cover all of this on sugar alone in one session, but that's okay. We're going to be all right. We're coming back at you again with some more good information on health. But read the labels. I've given you that. I've talked about that extensively. Read the labels if you're going to break the sugar addiction. Know how much is coming in the house. Make it your determination. You're not going to allow but X amount into the house of your body. All right? So read the labels. And here's another piece of advice. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. All right? Make sure you're getting your water supply in. Number 3, include the fats in your diet, like avocado oil. I take at least 2 tablespoons of avocado oil every single day in my diet. You can include something like black seed oil or flaxseed oil. These oils will help cut down on the craving and do a whole lot of great stuff in the body, from helping with the blood pressure, helping with the nervous system. A lot of good things that the fats can do for you. And by the way, since I'm talking about fats, add items like avocados. Include avocados that has the fats, the proteins, the minerals, the vitamins. Many people call it one of the most complete foods on the planet. Add avocados. I've already planned for today to have an avocado in my tuna sandwich with the tomato. Oh my God, I can hardly wait. I can't get to it right now because I have a regimen that I go through on a regular basis. So around lunchtime, of course, that's when I'm going to have my tuna sandwich with the avocado, with those fats and those minerals. You talk about something that can help regulate your bodily chemistry. The avocado is powerful. Here's another piece of advice on breaking the sugar addiction. Add more nuts in your diet. I take 5 Brazil nuts usually, and my wife does too, girlfriend does too, every day. 5 Brazil nuts with the selenium in it, the fats in it, the proteins in it, the minerals in it. Oh my God, it's a good thing to do to help you stay healthy. But those are some things that you can do to break the sugar addiction. Consider the end result, all right? As I've talked about the diabetes, the obesity, the high blood pressure, the heart disease, consider the end result. Now, if you've seen others with these conditions, don't keep driving the vehicle of your ways in the same direction. Make some changes, because those that are trying to overcome it, they're doing that, all right? I've got to stop, but I do want to let everybody know about my latest book. Let me make sure I get it here. My latest book, The 7-Day Meal Plan. The 7-Day Meal Plan. If you go to my website at ellisonsconsulting.com, you'll see this book. You can order this book from ellisonsconsulting.com. We talk about meal plans, a 7-day meal plan that addresses meals that you can have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Go to ellisonsconsulting.com and you can get a copy of this 7-day meal plan. And the plan is to help us be in control of our health. And through the plan, you'll see how to break the sugar addiction and promote your health versus fighting disease. Oh my God, I've enjoyed this time with you. I hope you've been empowered. I hope you've been educated, even edutained, or let me say edutained a little bit as well. But I've got to go for now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the link. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time on Next Up. You have a great day. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, you've been listening to Dr. E on Next Up. Please share this out on your platforms, ladies and gentlemen. We want everybody on the planet to hear this wonderful information from Dr. E that's going to help your health and help you keep your joy each and every day. But thank you so much again. Don't forget to share this out on your platforms. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much.